Welcome to Civil Services Achievers Point. We are discussing today the Assam Tribune of 20th October 2020. This Assam Tribune analysis is based on the new pattern of APSC. At Civil Services Achievers Point, we have various courses. For details, you can call at the number given below. You can also follow us on various social media platforms. These are the answers to the MCQs of 27 October and these are the MCQs of 28 October. Students, you can pause the video here and you can attempt the questions in the comment section below. These are the important newspaper articles we are discussing today and the important editorials we are going to discuss. So students, let us begin with the news articles first. The first article is regarding the IndoUS Talks. So we have covered in our last class, there is the 2+2 strategic dialogue going on between India and the US, and in that discussion various topics and various international relations issues are being discussed, and one of the focus areas has been the Chinese threat and also the military pact which India and US have signed, that is the BECA. We have discussed this topic in our yesterday's class. Now this topic we are discussing under the General Studies 2 paper, International Relations. So here we should know first of all about what is this 2+2 dialogue initiative. Now this 2+2 dialogue initiative is between two countries and it involves the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of External Affairs, and from Indian side and the US counterparts like the US Secretary of State and the Defense Secretary of US. So India and US have discussed the rising threat of China and the clash in the Galwan Valley in the eastern Ladakh sector, where the Chinese military and Indian military have engaged in a tension clash. Now the government sources have said that China's expansionist behavior in eastern Ladakh and in various parts of the world was a major talking point during the meeting with both sides, and also the cooperation of sharing high-end military technology, classified satellite data and critical information between these militaries were also discussed. Now coming to the next important article, European Union gets approval to impose duties on US imports. So this is an important newspaper article from General Studies 2 paper, International Relations topic. So the European Union has been authorized to take countermeasures against the US, allowing the bloc to increase its duties on American exports worth up to ₹4 billion. So in the statement, the European Commission said that the authorization was granted by the dispute settlement body of the World Trade Organization, WTO. So the authorization of the impose of duties by the EU on US imports, authorization was granted by the dispute settlement body of the WTO. The European Commission is currently finalizing the process and it involves the European Union member states. So in a statement, the Executive Vice President for the Economy said that today's formal approval by the dispute settlement body of the World Trade Organization confirms the European Union's right to impose countermeasures for illegal subsidies to the American aircraft maker Boeing. So why this is done? Because you see, if America has given additional subsidies to its aircraft maker like Boeing, then the Boeing aircraft will become cheaper in the European markets. Now the Europeans have their own aircraft manufacturer called the Airbus. So that is why the European Union has approved the impose of duties on US imports. Now coming to the next important newspaper article, COVID-19 to erode 3 years of fiscal consolidation gains of states as per the RBI. So this we are studying under the General Studies 3 paper, Economic Development. So the additional outgo to combat the impact of COVID-19 will significantly erode the fiscal consolidation achieved by the state governments in the past 3 years. So the additional measures which are taken are to combat the impact of COVID-19 will significantly erode or significantly hamper the fiscal consolidation achieved by the state governments in the past 3 years. So in a study of the state budgets of 2020-21, the RBI report, which has dwelled on the theme COVID-19 and its special dimensions in India, said that gross fiscal deficit of the states would spiral during the current fiscal. States have budgeted their consolidated GFD at 2.8% of GDP in 2020-21. However, the COVID-19 pandemic may alter budget estimates significantly and eroding the gains of consolidation secured in the preceding 3 years. The average gross fiscal deficit for states that presented their budgets before the outbreak of COVID-19 is 2.4% of GSPD. That is the state gross domestic product. However, while the average of our budgets presented the post lockdown is 4.6%. So you can see from 2.4% it rose to 4.6%. So now coming to the next important article, Center amends laws to allow people from outside JNK to buy land there. So the Union government has amended the laws to allow people from outside JNK to buy land in JNK, and this topic we will study in the General Studies 2 paper, Polity and Governance. So the Union government has paved the way for people from outside Jammu and Kashmir to buy land in the Union territory by amending several laws, and this has come after more than a year after the nullification of Articles 370 and 35A of the Constitution. In a gazette notification in Hindi and English, the Ministry of Home Affairs has made several changes to the land laws, including allowing use of agricultural land for setting up facilities of public purpose. Now, the most important change has been made in the Jammu and Kashmir Development Act that deals with the disposal of land in the Union Territory, as the center has omitted the phrase permanent resident of the state. So now the permanent resident of the state phrase has been deleted from the act. So before the repeal of Article 370 and Article 35A in August last year, non-residents could not buy any immovable property like land in Jammu and Kashmir. However, the fresh changes have paved the way for non-residents to buy land in the Union Territory. So APSC may check this question in the upcoming prelims exam. So very, very important. Now coming to the next important article, study has found that intensive irrigation in India enhances deadly moist heat stress. So this we are discussing under the General Studies 1 paper, Geography of India. So it has been found that intensive irrigation in India is increasing atmospheric moisture levels and enhancing potentially deadly extreme heat stress conditions where people's bodies do not cool down easily. So what it has found basically that India's irrigation, it noted that India's irrigation area has doubled in recent decades, and the related increase in moist heat stress is closely related to the link to human mortality. So according to the researchers, the ongoing human-induced climate change is expected to intensify temperature extremes in India that could increase this heat stress, affecting nearly 46 million people in the South Asia. So both the warming climate and irrigation contribute to the increased extreme moist heat in parts of India, and while cooling due to water evaporating from irrigation systems might partially counteract dry heat stress. The study noted that the associated changes in humidity that could affect moist heat stress are poorly understood. They found that although the irrigation causes land surface cooling, but it also leads to the substantially higher surface humidity by reducing the height of the lowest part of the atmosphere, that is the planetary boundary layer. So as a result, irrigation mitigates dry heat stress, and but enhances moist heat stress. So scientists have found this. So this is particularly more important for those having geography optional, and it may also come in the GS paper 1 topic geography. So now we will discuss the important editorials of today's newspaper. So first editorial is regarding the Masoli Protection. This we are discussing under the General Studies on Assam paper, disaster management. So as we know that the Masoli, which has been now declared a district in Assam, is facing the unabated erosion from the river by the river Brahmaputra, and its very existence is facing threat. So all this is happening, and we know that Masoli is also the seat of the Vaishnavite culture, Vaishnavite tradition, various satras, various traditions of Vaishnavism. The Neo Vaishnavism propagated by Mahaprabhu Srimanta Shankardev is there in Masoli. So Masoli is not only the river island, but also its cultural importance is of very much paramount. So many important prominent satras like Auniati, Lokhinpat, Gormur, Uttar Kamalabari. So these are the prominent ones among the many satras present in Masoli. So the problem of erosion in Masoli is seriously haunting us since the 1950s after the great earthquake. So after the great earthquake, the island witnessed very severe erosion, and also Masoli has lost a substantial landmass due to erosion. And various government agencies like Brahmaputra Board has undertaken various flood mitigation measures to save Masoli from erosion. And the board has also initiated steps like construction of boulder spurs, concrete porcupine screen. So also the protection of island, as I have already discussed, the protection of the island is also very much important to keep alive the rich tradition, culture, and the unique geographical landscape. Now here a few points on the NRC exercise and the NRC document has been made. So very some salient points may be found here which can be used in the examination. So this topic we are studying under the General Studies on Assam paper, Polity and Governance. The census paper of 2018 gives the details of the people on the language, on the basis of language for a country. So as per this report, so you can quote this data in the mains examination. The Assamese speaking people along with Bengali, Hindi, Bodo and other scheduled and non-scheduled languages add up to 307 lakh or so in 2011, which when projected up to 2015 add up to 334 lakhs. So who are eligible for inclusion in the NRC as Indian citizens. But the population growth of one linguistic group since 1951 is in excess of normal growth, and it indicates the infiltration which we are facing since the liberation of Bangladesh, that is the post 1971. So in Assam's context, the Assam's eligible population for inclusion in the NRC based on languages is around 317 lakhs in 2015. So here in this editorial, the author has made a concrete data-based evidence which reflects the genuineness of the NRC data and how the NRC document will help Assam in getting a more progressive nature and also having the illegal immigrants detection and also we can remove their name from the electoral voter list. So students can go through this editorial. The final points are this only, that the 6 years long Assam Accord, Assam movement, and after which the Assam Accord was signed. So this new NRC is surely a hope for a strong and prominent Assam, and it will help us to identify the illegal immigrants and also for their deportation. So with this, we come to an end to today's current affairs class. I hope this class was very helpful. Thank you. Thank you very much.